Hey guys, it's Amanda. I'm very excited for today's video. I'm going to be showing you guys my everyday makeup look for when I have a little bit more time in the morning. It's a bit more glam than my natural running out the door makeup, and I'm going to be very in-depth in today's video. I showed you guys step-by-step product breakdown, shades, the work. So if you guys want to see how I got this look right here, just keep on watching. Hi guys, I have everything in front of me right now. I just did my hair, but I am going to clip it back so it's not in my face as I'm getting ready. For skin prep, I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of my skincare so you know what's going under my skin, and this really works for me. It doesn't pill under my makeup. So I love to wash my skin with the Caudalie Vino Pure, but in the mornings I don't usually wash my face. I just kind of rinse with water, and then I put on the Lancome Tonique Comfort Toner. This is the travel size, but I love this so much, especially in the winter. My skin gets so dry, so I just apply a little bit of that. I always say the trick to a perfect base is hydrated skin. And then next, I have been loving this Caudalie, this is the Vino Perfect Dark Spot Serum. This has been helping me so much with hyperpigmentation, so I just put a little bit of that all over my skin, and I just distribute it all over. And don't forget the neck ever. I've realized even though my skin gets dry, overhydrating can cause little bumps, so I try to avoid that. Okay, next, I definitely alternate between these, but I love lip balm and I am always hydrating my lips, especially when it gets cold. I think I'm gonna use the Smith's Rosebud Salve, but I love Laneige or Summer Fridays. I also love the Jisoo lip oils, but I don't wanna use anything shimmery right now. I just want a thin, hydrating lip balm. I used to be obsessed with this in the Tumblr days. I feel like everyone back in like 2015, 16 had this lip balm. Also, before we begin, I'm lighting a candle. I'm big on vibes, okay? I'm staying at a hotel room in New York for the next 2 weeks, so I'm trying to make it as homey as possible. I usually use the Diptyque Etsinels or the Chenille, but I don't have it. So I'm taking these matches that I got at this bar here in New York. We're gonna light this candle. This is a Frenchy vanilla candle, like a vanilla lavender. This is really giving Vogue Beauty Secrets today. Okay, skin time. So I don't always use foundation. I'm gonna show you guys the foundations that I've been loving recently, but I don't think I'm gonna be using much of it today. The Armani Luminous Silk. This is just the best foundation ever. But I've also really been loving this Dior Forever Skin Perfect foundation stick. I usually think foundation sticks are really thick, but this isn't like that. I think actually I'm gonna use this today. You guys know that I love this and it works really well with my base. But I'm gonna use the smallest amount of the Dior Skin Perfect where my skin would kind of need it the most. It's just like a really little amount. I'm in the shade 2N, by the way, for anyone wondering. I'm gonna use my Rare Beauty foundation brush. I'm just gonna distribute this on my skin. And it literally makes my skin look like skin. It's insane. Just blurs everything. With the cream foundation, I do tend to love using a brush to distribute everything because it just works so much faster. Also, the eye bags are so crazy. I don't normally have eye bags, but I've been having trouble sleeping this past week. I keep waking up in the middle of the night. Okay, I don't use a lot of foundation on my nose or my forehead. I didn't even put, but I'm just gonna put a little excess on my nose today. I didn't put any product under my eyes, so it's not cakey. I really don't like cakey makeup. This is my concealer situation. Okay, this is why, I'll explain. I'm in between shades most of the time. So my favorite concealers in the world are the Lancome Teint Idole or the Armani Luminous Silk concealers. These just work the best on my skin. I have dry skin. I'm gonna use Armani Luminous Silk today. So I'm in between shades, so I'm gonna mix two. I'm mixing 5.25 and 5, and I'm going to put this where I need a little brightening. So I'm gonna put it under my eyes, around my mouth, just a little, and around my chin area. And my chin, we're already here. Why not? And then I'm gonna use this brighter shade, and I'm just gonna put it in the beginning of my under eyes. It's kind of what I use it for. I have a trick with concealer that Jackie Aina taught me a very long time ago, because yes, I do watch makeup tutorials. I kind of let this sit for 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how much coverage you want. I want my skin to look breathable and fun and fresh, so we're just gonna let this kind of you know, sit and then we'll blend. I also have been loving these pawpaw sponges. They're very affordable. On Amazon, you can get like a huge pack of them. And now we blend. These blend so beautifully, and they work really well with that Dior foundation on my skin. And now I'm gonna put the excess on my eyelid. I don't always do this, especially if I'm on the go and I just simply don't have time. I will skip this step, and then just a little right here, because I do have like an indent in my forehead, so sometimes I try and brighten it, sometimes I don't. Okay, I'm gonna grab a spoolie and just brush my eyebrows up. This doesn't have any product, but I will be using brow gel later, but I'm kind of just letting my eyebrows do their own thing at this point because Lord knows what they're doing. Now I'm going to take the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is in a darker shade, in the shade 10. I like to use concealer as contour because it blends so much better than an actual contour formula. So I'm taking literally the smallest amount and blending it out. For contour, I use two different brushes that I like to alternate. I don't always use the same one, but these are the two that I use. This Merit brush. I have two of these Merit brushes because I am such a huge fan, and I do have two of the Makeup by Mario brushes. This is the F4, but we're gonna use the Merit today. And I kind of just start tapping and going in upwards motions, and it just subtly adds a little bit of color. A little goes a long way with these. I just kind of dot very little product. I'm gonna take this Merit brush and just blend upwards and into my cheek a little, but not too much because I also don't want to look muddy. And now we're gonna blend the forehead. So, and you see I overdid it with the contour. This is the story of my life. But since I don't apply product on my forehead, the bronzer for some reason just looks so much more natural. Just gives it that like sun-kissed glow. There you have it. Please make sure to blend it into the hairline. You guys have clocked me for this before. Now for nose contour, this is a newer thing. I don't know how I feel about this yet, but I'm leaning towards I like it. This is the Victoria Beckham Precision Contour Wand. I'm just going to kind of just jot this along my nose. I use different brushes for this, or even my fingers, but I'm using this Hourglass brush. It has kind of like that angled, and I'm just going to use the pointier side to distribute the product alongside my nose first and upwards towards my brow to really get that sculpt. I just blend the rest with the more dense side, and that's how I contour my nose. Now for blush. These are my two favorite blushes that I use on the day-to-day, and I do alternate, I'm sorry. My favorite of all time is Petal Poppin' from Fenty Beauty. This is just the prettiest blush to ever exist. I feel like it's the perfect pink peach. Or I use Toasted Teddy from Rhode, which is a completely different vibe. I think I'm gonna use Petal Poppin' today because I just feel like this flatters me no matter what makeup look. And I'm just gonna use that F4, the smaller side, and distribute the product first on the high points of my cheek. As you can see, I know that looks crazy. And then we just start to blend. And any excess I have, just a little on the nose. It gives your skin that healthy flush. And now I'm gonna go in with my sponge and just press lightly on top. And it'll just be the perfect blush. And no, I don't have blush blindness. Like, I think this works. I'm gonna set my eyelids before I gel my brows down. My makeup artist recommended me this kimchi powder. This is in the pink rose, and he says it's amazing, and honestly, I have been loving it because it's not a thick formula. So I'm just gonna lightly set my eyelids with this. It's so thin and comfortable. I really love this powder, and I don't set my whole face with powder anymore. I know this is quite the shock, but I make sure to blend my under eyes. Then I grab a powder puff, and we're gonna be really precise with where we're setting. So I'm gonna use the puff on my under eyes and alongside my nose, and make sure that that is set. And again on my under eyes. It's always around this time my nose decides to start running. And we're gonna set alongside my mouth and my chin. And right under the contour. I don't set my nose, my forehead, or my cheek area. So I kind of just let that do its thing. Now I'm gonna gel my brows down. This is the MAC Pro Locked Brow Gel. I love this stuff, and I am going to take the part with the brush and just brush the brows up and make sure they have an even coat of product. I'm gonna take the flat side and just press the brows down as if it were like a lamination. Look at the difference in brow. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. My eyebrow hairs are really stubborn because I have thick hair, so my hair grows thick. So a good brow gel is hard to find for me because my brows like to just do their own thing. They never listen to me unless I'm using this brow gel. The one thing is you really gotta make sure you lock this in because if not, it will peel. But if you just set it and don't like scratch your eyebrow or anything like that, should be fine. And then if they get too crazy, listen, I calm them down. I'm not trying to look too crazy either. Now I'm gonna take my Hoola bronzer and take a really little amount and just kind of bronze over a little. Make sure the face is nice and warm, not too much. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of that Hoola and just sweep it on my lid and crease, but I don't even like putting too much, just a little depth and warmth. Make sure everything's like nice and tight in together. And then I'm gonna take this brush and just kind of sweep over my nose contour. Kind of just over the same places that I had put that Victoria Beckham stick. Okay. Now we are going to do eyeliner. I don't always use eyeliner. For like my natural no makeup, different story. That's like a different tutorial. This is like my everyday glam if I like really need to like look good. If that makes sense. I'm gonna take Costa Riche by MAC. This is my favorite brown pencil. And I'm gonna grab a mirror and we're just gonna really lightly do a wing on the outer edge of my eye. And I don't like it to be too thick when I connect it because I just want it to look like my eyes but elongated. So I just kind of like fill in the lash line, kind of like that. There we go. And listen, sometimes they're not twins, they're sisters, so it's okay. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes. This is the Shiseido eyelash curler. This is my favorite eyelash curler ever. Now that the eyelashes are curled, I'm gonna be using my Tarte Tubing Mascara. This is my favorite mascara right now. It's all I've really been using. I've been testing out this L'Oreal mascara, but I can't vouch it yet. I also love this one because it's so easy to remove. It's a tubing mascara, so the second it touches water, kind of just wipe it off and there's like no crumbling when you're cleaning it up. And it just elongates my lashes so crazily. Trying so hard not to make mascara face. Oh man, I got it on my lid. Okay, when this happens, don't panic. Just let it dry down and then you scrape it off. Lip time! Okay, for lips today, these are the usual two lip liners I use. So I either use Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium 2 or Plum by MAC, but I'm always a Plum girl. Okay, Plum by MAC is just that girl forever. And I'm just gonna line my lips with this. Now, I like to overline the top a little bit, but I don't like overlining the rest of my lip because then it just looks too big. So my favorite thing for like a doll pout is to really lightly line. As you guys can see, you know, there's an upwards pout. And now I do the same on the bottom. Okay, now I know that looks really dark. So this is my trick. This is excessive, I know, but I just bought a bunch of new MAC lipsticks. Usually I use KKW by Charlotte Tilbury. She's really beat up. Or I use Blankety by MAC. I think we're gonna do Blankety by MAC today. It's a true nude with light pink undertones, like more mauve, as you guys can see. And then what I do is I just blend with my finger. And then I just go over top where needed. And now I'm gonna take Costa Riche. I have a freckle here and I do like to show it off. So I just put a little bit of that eyeliner there. And then I take a little bit of Costa Riche right where my lower lash line connects with my wing. So it's like completely cohesive, but I don't like to completely bring it in because then I just look like I'm going out instead of a daytime look. Now, for what I was telling you guys not to panic about with the mascara, just take a spoolie. Dry spoolie, came right off on a day's work. I'm gonna go over with that same brush where I used Petal Poppin' and just like reapply that on top of my cheeks to make sure that it didn't wash out, which it didn't. And the final step for my base is this Dior face palette. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I'm gonna take the pink shimmer and put that on the high point of my cheek and on the other cheek. And as you know, I didn't set that, so it looks nice and glowy. And then I take the gold and white and I just put it on my inner corner. On my nose and my bridge. Okay, so the makeup is done. Now, this is my setting spray routine. I go in first with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This will make any places that I mattified a little bit more hydrated looking, like skin, so it doesn't look powdery. And then that will kind of dry down, and then I really lock in with the one size. So here we go. And then the On Till Dawn. Let this dry down. Okay, now that the makeup is done, I'm just gonna put the hair down. All right, guys, that is my everyday makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe down below if you haven't joined the family already. I'll also list all the products that I used in this video with shades and everything if you want to check any of that out. And let me know what other looks you want to see from me. This was really fun to film, and I just love to talk anyway, so also tag me if you recreate this look. I love you all. Bye.